Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time, especially right before a big holiday weekend here. So we really appreciate you all. We have a record number on right now, which is always good to see, especially when we're talking about the senior market, final expense. So great stuff. Just a couple things that I want to share before we dive into our feature presentation today. Number one, we have a special guest speaker who is our VP directly from Aetna, CVS, Ascendo. He is very, very well educated in the senior space, and I think everyone's going to walk away with nuggets today that will help change your practice. Okay, so we're honored to have him joining us. And what I also want to talk about is as far as the state of the industry right now, where we are today, right? Obviously, we thought we were coming out of this pandemic, and here we are now, September, right? We're still dealing with this crap going on right now, and yes, it's very frustrating, and there's a bunch of I don't even want to bring it up on the call, but there's a lot going on right now, let's just say. So we have to kind of turn our hats and say, you know what? At the end of the day, we're all insurance agents, right? And we're all here to help these families, right? At a difficult, challenging time, right? Bottom line. So we have to get the message out. And it's your job to bring this up to your friends, family, network, neighbors, whatever the case is. So you have to know enough to be dangerous, right? As we all know, and that's kind of the point of today's presentation. If you're in the senior space or you're not in the senior space yet, but maybe you want to be. So bottom line, it's Life Insurance Awareness Month. Started yesterday, right? September. And we have a bunch of great bullets that we're going to share, but these are different ways, different reasons to open the door to start the life insurance conversation. Okay, now when we're talking about final expense, there's a lot of gray out there. There's a lot of MLM groups out there. There's a lot of small print, right? You'll see an email blast, or maybe you're on a webinar and everything sounds wonderful. And then as soon as you lift up the covers a little bit, it's like, whoa, wait a minute. I didn't know this, or I didn't know I was locked into a contract for a year, and I didn't know I have to pay a 22% interest on an advanced commission, okay? Or I didn't know I was under 31 layers of uplines, okay? And every single 31 GAs has to sign off on me if I want to make a move, okay? So you have to ask the right questions. If you're doing business with us, wonderful, okay? We have obviously direct contracts, so there's not 32 layers. And even if you have a few contracts outside of Levinson, that's okay too. But again, just ask the right questions, okay? When it comes to final expense, like I said, there's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of small print. There's a lot of IMOs or GAs, if you want to call them that, kind of came in to the business a little late, maybe 3, 4, 5, 7 years ago. Right. And they don't really understand like that whole brokerage mentality. So they're looking at this as, overrides and, hey, if we can, give out leads and make 70% override, we're going to be just fine. Okay. Which you're not going to be just fine. That's very short lived. Okay. And yeah, you might pop up for 3, 4, 5 years and make some pretty good money, but it's going to catch up to you, right? Agents now, everyone's talking between these agent forums, social media, right? Everybody's communicating with each other, which in my opinion is a great thing because everyone has the covers lifted up, right? And everyone knows the real story. So it's up to you all to know the black and white facts, right? And then make an educated decision on who you want to partner with. So anyway, couple things. There's never been a better time to be a life insurance agent. I'm going to show you proof in just a second, right? Because sales are at a record high for 2021, okay? And I know a lot of it's due to the pandemic, but number one, yes, you're in the best career spot ever, okay, in history. So you have a chance to run with this, okay, number one. Number two, when you're dealing with final expense, senior market, just know the basics, right? Ask the right questions, and just always know in the back of your mind, right? Think of like you're pulling up at the Ford, a car dealership, and you got the used car department on the left, right? And you got the new car department on the right, right? And some of the stories, right? And some of the gray area you're going to get on the left side in the used car division versus the right side on the new car department or division. Okay, so you always need to know the truth, right? And what's not the truth. And we're here to share that with you and share facts. Okay, and that's the bottom line. So we handpick our top final expense carriers, technology, platforms, lead programs, right? All of the above. And that's what we're going to talk about today quickly, right? Because we don't want to take any of Paul's thunder. We want to give him at least 30 minutes of time on stage today to make sure, again, everyone walks away with nuggets. In our opinion, right, Aetna is one of the top final expense carriers, and that's why we have a direct IMO contract with them. CVS Health, Ascendo, okay, a great platform, and they have this new signature option that you're going to be blown away with. I promise you. In fact, no other carrier has anything like this. And that's why I invited Paul on today, or one of the reasons, I should say. So anyway, really cool stuff. And then besides that, we have a new final expense lead program. We have a CRM tool built in. This is all free. We have a turnkey legacy safeguard senior market strategy. That's amazing. The scholarship program. Amazing. This is all free, by the way, okay? On top of these GA commissions, right? And you're not 32 levels below. You're one, okay? It's you, us, and them. Done. End of story. Andrew, let's jump right in. Life Insurance Awareness Month. It is your turn now, right, to get the message out and tell everyone about Life Insurance Awareness Month and ask the right questions. And if you remember what I just said about a minute and a half ago, that you are in the best career spot in history ever as an insurance agent, okay? Some might laugh, right? And the others are making over $1 million a year of commissions, okay? And we have a few. If you go to the Bill Levinson Experience podcast, I have a few agents in their 30s and 40s, some in their 80s, okay, that are clearing over $1 million a year consistently of commissions, selling over the phone, okay? And it's not just me telling you this. Just jump on the podcast and you'll hear some of my 1-hour interviews, but there is no better career than as an insurance agent today without going to school for 8 years and having a $500,000 of debt, right, to pay for your university and your 7 degrees. So you're in the great spot, but you have to run with this. And here's a few facts. Let's fast forward. Let's look at the top corner there, left-hand side. Number one, per LIMRA, Q1 of this year, life insurance sales were up over 11%. That's the highest it's been since 1983. Okay, that's insane. Think about that. And the reason why they were so high in 83, I don't know if you remember, but agents were selling current assumption, current interest rate UL and saying that the premiums are never going to change. Okay, and well, they changed. And that's when a bunch of lawsuits happened and they came out with no lapse products. But anyway, you're in the driver's seat. Okay, 2021, you are seeing record numbers and you're in control of this, right? It's up to you. Number two, recent studies show that nearly 31% of consumers say COVID made it more likely they will purchase life insurance within the next year. Okay, so like it or not, and it's a horrible time in this country, around the world. Yes, we know that, okay? And yes, we can do the best we can and try to wear a mask and you know, whatever you believe in, great, okay? But life insurance is top of mind. It's around the dinner table, okay? And you need to be the one these people go to ask for a quote, bottom line. Number three, 2021 MIB reporting shows that life insurance app and premium volume are the highest between apps and premium together are the highest since 2017, 5 years, okay? You're in the driver's seat. Proof is in the pudding, And I'm not trying to sell you or convince you, because obviously you're all agents or you wouldn't be on our webinar right now. Okay, but my point is there's never been a better opportunity. I don't care if you're working IUL, seniors, if you're focused on children's policies, mortgage protection. Okay, it doesn't make a difference. P&C, health, cross-selling, whatever it is. There's never been a better time. Here's Kelly Rowland, the actress, bottom right corner. By having life insurance, you're saying to your family, I love you, I've got you, I'm seeing to your future no matter what. She's not an agent, okay? That's the perception from the outside. Now, in fact, we sent out an email last night. We gave you some great marketing pieces for Life Insurance Awareness Month. You can co-brand it, put your picture, phone number, website, run with this stuff, put it all over your social media pages and send out an e-blast to every single person you know, because now is the time. All right, let's jump in. What's new over at Levinson? By the way, we're going to do a question of the day. So make sure you're on till the end, right before 4 p.m. Eastern. Whoever answers first and correctly wins the Amazon Echo and our new IUL prospecting book on me, plus the Ask Me About Free Scholarships magnetic pin. Okay, so we're going to talk. In fact, the question is going to be what we're going over in these next few slides. So make sure you're paying attention. We're going to ask at the end, and we're going to announce the winner at the end on today's webinar. Okay, real quick. And by the way, make sure you're jotting down notes. We have that Q&A box. Typically, it's in the bottom right corner. Okay, and if we have time, we'll do a short Q&A. But if not, just you type away, use that question box. We're going to answer everyone as we go. If we don't get to you within the hour, we'll get to you as soon as we're done. I promise you that. And then everybody will get a thank you email with Aetna Contracting by the time we wrap up the office today. Okay, so you'll have it in your inbox today. If not, it's in your spam folder, or we have your incorrect email address. If that's the case, just reach out to us. Okay, what's new at Levinson? Let's move over to the top left side again. Bestow. Right now, Bestow term is the only direct-to-consumer term, real-time online decision to 1.5 million. Okay, and you might scratch your head and say, oh, I heard about this Ethos company, Bill. Yes, Ethos also has a direct-to-consumer term. There's one huge difference. Okay, the difference is you're not agent of record. You are referring your clients to them. With Bestow, you're agent of record. These clients belong to you, not us. Okay, that's huge for servicing your book, renewals. Okay, anyway, make sure you have Bestow up and running on your website, especially during a pandemic, right? Because there's no Starbucks meetings at 7 a.m. right now, or dining room table meetings before dinner in someone's house, right, at 7 p.m. So everybody's online, everyone's quoting. You need to be out there, period. Okay, right below that on the annuity division, we have a great September kickoff contest. Very simple. You can win up to $1,000, okay, by writing 2 indexed annuities with Levinson. $1,000 above and beyond your commission. SureBridge, another big one. So with SureBridge, right, these are supplemental products, and we also have all of this on Insure Me Now Direct, which means direct to consumer. So we are giving you $100 with your first 2 apps with SureBridge. Bestow contest, $50, okay, $50 with your first app. And the reason why we do this, folks, is we know once you write your first app on our platform, it's so easy, you're going to be off to the races anyway. So even if we lose a few bucks, it doesn't matter because you're going to be addicted to the process. Okay, on the bottom, highlighted in yellow, we have our Agent Expo 2022 keynote speaker just announced. It's the best-selling author, Mary Reed. She's going to be there live for 1 hour. Our keynote, Distribution Solutions, Tax Saving Strategies. She is unbelievable. In fact, if you say, Bill, I have a guy, I have a girl that this strategy is perfect for, she'll get on the phone, webinar, meeting, and do all the selling for you. Okay, literally. We just had one agent who's on right now. He just wrote 4 apps. Okay, 3 to the kids, 1 to the parent, and the target premium was about 180 grand, and she did all the work for him, all the heavy lifting. So anyway, Mary Reed, in fact, the winner of today's contest, where I'm going to ask the question at the end. We'll get a copy of the distribution solution book. Anyway, she'll be live at the expo. Do not miss the expo. Over 300 agents in attendance. It's going to be a huge day for everyone. Okay, middle section, new carriers and products. We have new carriers and products we're adding to Insure Me Now Direct. In fact, the programming has started. We have a final expense product on there, not as good as Aetna, okay, but it's a strong product. So we have that launching in about 4 to 8 weeks. This is a big one too. I'm sure you've heard by now all of the new LTC rules and regulations in the state of Washington. Well, great news. Most companies pulled out. Okay, we literally had apps midstream that were literally being kicked back. Well, we have one awesome product left. So if you have a client, right, that needs LTC Washington, we have you covered. Okay, let us know. SureBridge announces a new simplified issue term life product that we're also adding to our Insure Me Now Direct. So that just launched about a week ago. This is a big one. So Bestow, and I was talking about that earlier, recently featured on CNBC's Disruptor Top 50 list. Okay, they are changing the way smaller term life insurance is being sold. Okay, and what does that mean? Okay, think Amazon. Think consumers going to your website, Insure Me Now Direct, and quoting and applying and being approved online in less than 7 minutes, saving their policy. You are agent of record and you get full commission. Okay, that's why they're changing the game. On the bottom, American Amicable updates its term made simple pricing and non-med term to age 75. That's huge for simplified issue, especially during a pandemic. Let's move over to the right side. We have the Stonewood IUL prospecting software updates that, in fact, we're going to have a webinar in a few weeks and we'll go over those. We have new premium finance sales software that's awesome called Ilia. So if you're interested in that, let us know. 2 new Mary Reed prospecting books. Okay, and again, she's our keynote speaker at the 2022 Expo. Very excited. And last but not least, Life Insurance Awareness Month is here. Okay, we have an entire marketing library folder, call it whatever you want, where you can go in, take a look around, start co-branding and getting this material out to the masses with your name on it. Because when that family's around the dinner table and they're saying, what if mommy or daddy get COVID and they don't make it? Okay, we need life insurance. You want to be the one they're calling. Okay, you got to get your name out there. No excuse. Foot on the gas, you got to move forward. Andrew, let's move forward here. Okay, our feature presentation, we have Mr. Paul Erickson, our RSM from Aetna, with some great new technology and product info. Paul, you there?
I am, Mr. Levinson. I appreciate your time.
Yep, thank you, Paul.
All right, let me show my screen. Well, do the slideshow. I do apologize. I had this all set up and somehow it all right, so you should be able to see the singular screen at the Senior Supplemental Insurance. Excellent, excellent. Well, I appreciate your time today, and I appreciate the ability to be able to get in front of these agents. Certainly is an important time for all of us. I think our products speak for themselves, but nonetheless, we're going to go through these. I'm going to give you a little bit of an example of the history of Aetna Senior Supplemental, as well as the mothership CVS. Talk about 2 plans that we have available to us, the CLI Final Expense Whole Life, as well as the Ascendo product, which are both very, very popular. And then we'll talk very briefly about the Aetna Quote and Enroll system and how to get yourself further education about those particular avenues to write business. So Aetna itself is the mothership. Obviously, CVS just purchased us, but Aetna has been the mothership for a while. The Aetna Senior Supplemental product started out as Continental Life, was purchased by Genworth, and Genworth was in turn purchased by Aetna Senior Supplemental. We are headquartered in Franklin, Tennessee. We do have 400 plus associates spread out throughout the United States. The majority of them are in Franklin, Tennessee. I myself live in Florida in the Tampa Bay area. We help you build your business persistency by offering competitive rates, top commissions, and we help you grow your renewals. And then also cross-selling opportunities with our whole portfolio of products. Largely, the 100,000 plus agents are our chief distribution engine. We appreciate that you're out there on the street. I spent roughly about 25 years now in the business, largely in the senior business, although I did write a lot of final expense as well as annuities back in the day when I first started out. And you're going to find these products refreshing. So the 35 plus years of experience, fun facts about Aetna itself, we paid the first Medicare claim back in the early 60s. Of course, Aetna is a very conservative northeastern company. We have large groups of employer insured groups, as well as Medicare, supplemental, and different things like that. So we're here, we're going to be here, and proof's in the pudding. So when we look at our top financial ratings, we are rated A excellent by AM Best, and you'll notice that there are a number of acronyms here, and these are all our charters. So depending on the area of the country where you write our business, it could have a specific charter. The CLI, Continental Life, is the product that we'll be talking about today, as well as our Ascendo products. Now, the Ascendo product, when we were purchased by CVS, they had a dormant charter called Ascendo, and they wanted to brand that and have plans available under that particular entity. So nonetheless, if it's an Ascendo product or it's an Aetna product, it is by and large administered, underwritten, all by Aetna Senior Supplemental. So you've got the experience. We're not going anywhere. So you can rest assured when you're representing us or recommending us to one of your clients, we're going to be there in the long run. So the Protection Series Final Expense Whole Life product is our first product that we'll talk about. And simply, there's a number of different approaches on how to talk to folks about or introduce folks to a final expense product. However, it's a pretty simple sell. The bottom line is, if you're selling ACA, any kind of health product, Medicare Advantage, Medicare Supplement, these particular products are designed, and you should be introducing these products to each person you talk to, regardless if you're just selling life or if you're kind of getting into the business and using your book of business to augment additional business. I won't go through this slide ad nauseum, but the bottom line is the costs of final expense and burials are not going down, right? So if you look at it graphically from 2014 to 2019, the bottom line is the costs aren't going down. So how are people going to pay for this? Well, they could use their own money, which will lead to catastrophe, right? It happens time and time again. I see it happening. I've experienced with friends that decided that they didn't want to get a final expense policy. I call it the ostrich principle. They put their head in the sand and they're never going to die. And then when the time comes where something drastic happens, they call you up and they go, "Hey, can I still get that final expense?" Well, unfortunately, it may be too late for them. So nonetheless, you need to make sure that you introduce these products to every person you talk to, not only your insured, but also the people around you, the people in your church or synagogue, or whatever your center of influence is. This is an opportunity for to get in front of them. Why this Protection Series product? Well, if you're selling Medicare supplements, this was really designed around our Medicare supplement. It's a level-only plan, and the health questions for the Medicare supplement and this particular product are the same. So the theory is there, if you're running a Medicare supplement plan, it's very easy to tack this on and add this to your portfolio. The more business you have with somebody, the stickier the business becomes. And what I mean by that is those folks are less likely to go someplace else, and you could potentially lose that business. We also offer super preferred rates on our final expense for anybody that's an existing Aetna or Aetna-affiliated Ascendo policyholder. And that is regardless of if it's a underwritten on this particular plan, underwritten or guaranteed issue or open enrollment. So it's a pretty darn good plan. People like it. Since we've introduced it, and we only introduced this recently, this has been a very, very popular product. So, you know, when you look at why you would want to introduce these plans, of course, it's peace of mind, right? Our plans don't have any medical exams. They're renewable regardless of the changes in their health. The premium rates will not increase as long as the premiums are paid. It's guaranteed non-cancelable, and there's also a 30-day free look. Generally speaking, when somebody gets on a final expense product, you will almost see the pressure taken off them. They now realize that that in the event of an untimely death, their loved ones will be taken care of, and they don't have to worry about those things. So it's important that you draw the picture up for them. When we look at this plan, there are flexible options. It's a level-only plan, and you look at the issue ages for this. And I do have a slide at the end that compares and contrasts a little bit of the differences between the Ascendo and the CLI product. But it pays in the event of an accidental death, it pays the full benefit immediately. In non-accidental death, all policy years are equal to the full benefit. The age bands are 45 to 55, and you'll see 2,000 to 50,000. And then working down, the last band is 76 to 89. So you can still put somebody on this plan at 89 years old and offer them $25,000 in protection. There is an annual fee of $40 for this plan. The age that you'll quote on is the age of the person at the last birthday. And the maximum amount varies according to age, as you can see right here. These plans also have additional riders. That's an accidental death benefit rider, which pays 100% of the base policy face amount for accidental death for issue ages 40 to 70. It has children's term insurance riders. You can provide coverage for the child, for the stepchild, all the way down to the great-grandchild. It's available in increments of $2,500 up to $10,000. It can't exceed the base benefit of the original insurer. And then if the issue ages begin at older than 30 days through less than 18 years old, policy becomes convertible. So you can reapproach those folks and put them on this plan and convert it to a life plan. We have matches for their Social Security deposits. And as I said, it has a super preferred rate. And I'll explain a little bit more about that. It has cash value flexibility, non-forfeiture options. It has a reduced paid up insurance. It has an extended term insurance. It has automatic premium loans and cash value. You can build cash value on this. So as you can see, it's a very, very flexible final expense whole life product, and something you should be able to place with just about everybody. There is a contestability period, and I won't go through this slide and read the whole thing, but the bottom line is it's contestable for up to two years. The policy can be rescinded and the agent commissions can be charged back. So what does that mean to you as an agent? Make sure your clients answer the questions truthfully, because it's not going to do you any good and it's not going to do them any good if they don't. Bundling, Medicare supplements plus the protection series final expense equals total coverage. The super preferred rate, who is eligible? Well, the super preferred rate is a 10% reduction. So if somebody qualifies for a preferred rate on this plan for underwriting, then the bottom line there is, and they have one of our Medicare supplements, whether it's an Ascendo product or an Aetna Senior Supplemental supplement, then you can put them on these plans if they qualify. and they'll get a further 10% discount off the premiums. Very simple to use, and I just put this in here only because, and you'll see a couple slides later on our Aetna quote and enroll system. You're very easily quote somebody and take a look at what the rates are going to be based on what the underwriting is. And this will go through. And certainly when you look at this and you look at the Aetna quote and enroll system, it certainly is a great system. And we can go through a little bit more as we get through here, but I just want to throw this slide in here to kind of show you just a depiction of how easy it is to get a quote done. And it gives you options. When we look at where the plan availability, we're pretty much everywhere in the United States with the exception of a couple areas. And we'll hopefully be adding to those areas shortly. And then you have the Ascendo final expense product as well, which is an individual whole life product. So what's new with this? This also has the 10% reduction for the super preferred rate. It also has the Social Security payment option. It offers additional riders on the level plan. It has a broad range of 40 to 89. So we came down on this particular plan from the CLI, which was 45 minimum to 40, and still 89. So you can still put somebody on this plan at 89 years old with no medical exam. And the flexible coverage from 2,000 to 50,000 on certain ages. Now you look at this coverage, we're pretty much everywhere in the United States with the exception of a couple states, New York and Massachusetts. Hopefully we'll be adding those shortly, but the plan availability is fantastic. Hopefully you live in a state or market in a state where we are. The level plan, ages 40 to 55, the level is 2,000 to 50,000, 56 to 65, 2,000 to 40,000, 66 to 75, 2,000 to 30, and down to 76 to 89. The maximum benefit is 25,000. And then if somebody doesn't qualify for the level benefit, you can put them in a modified benefit. So it's always important to answer all the questions when you go through the electronic application and make sure you check the box so that if they don't qualify in underwriting for the level plan, you can automatically quote them or it'll be quoted and the premium will be established for the modified plan. Full face value immediately upon policy issue date. If death is due to an accident, full benefit, non-accidental death, policy years 1 and 2, 110% of earned premium. In policy year 3, full benefit. On the level plan only, it offers an accelerated death benefit rider. You can also add an accidental death benefit rider. And it has the child and grandchild term insurance rider. Cash flexibility, reduced paid up insurance, extended term insurance, automatic premium loads, as well as cash value. It builds cash value automatically. So fantastic plans. I surmise that's why it's been very, very popular. The agent community has adopted this. Thank you, Mr. Levinson, for promoting these plans because quite frankly, there's a need for these. So this chart kind of goes through and you look at the first one, that's our old legacy plan, ACI, CLI, that's being done away with. You will not have an ability to market this plan, nor would you want to. It's not the most affordable plan. However, the ACC, which is the acronym for Ascendo, is. The differences are in red between the two plans. Whereas the CLI is 45 minimum, this is 40 minimum, and it has the modified benefit. It has an accelerated death benefit, which the CLI product doesn't. It has the super preferred rate. Now here's the big difference. So on the ACC plan, the Ascendo plan, you can get the 10% preferred rate off the base rate, but the policy has to be underwritten, and the Medicare supplement has to be underwritten and within 180 days. Conversely, you can still get the super preferred rate on the CLI plan, but you will notice that it can be issued, the med sub can be issued at any time, and it must still pass the FE underwriting. So you're still going to have to go through the underwriting on both these products for the FE portion of this. But on the super preferred rate with the Medicare supplement, you're answering the questions and they're one and the same. And the MedSup app can be both an underwritten, an open enrollment, or a guaranteed issue. You will also notice that the $40 is non-commissionable on the ACC plan, whereas it is commissionable on the CLI plan. Hey, every little bit helps. So, quotes on the go. What is quotes on the go? You can go to the Apple or Google Play Store and download to your phone Aetna Quotes on the Go, and you can quote all our products right there on your phone. Very, very easy to use, simple. I have it on my phone. Gone are the days when I first started where you had everything in your trunk, in your milk crates that you borrowed from Publix, and you got all your rate sheets and you had to figure it out. You can do a rate quote within 2 minutes. It's very, very simple. Load it right up, Apple Store or Google Play Store. And then quotes on the go. If you go to AetnaSeniorProducts.com, we have our Aetna Quote and Enroll tool. Now, we also do a lot of different trainings on a monthly basis, so I would highly recommend that if you haven't registered, you should register for the Aetna Senior Product portal. Go in, you will notice that there are trainings. You can go in and register. We have 3 to 4 deep dive trainings on the Aetna Quote and Enroll tool on a monthly basis. We spend about an hour and a half going through those trainings with you, and so you get a deeper understanding of how to use the actual product. Pretty easy to use. I've used a lot of my competitors, and this is very, very intuitive. You also have a sandbox feature that you can utilize. I don't know if you can see it, but right down here, you just click on the sandbox feature and you can practice using it. If you don't have the time, there's a quick reference guide on how to use the product. And then we also have a step-by-step module that you can take at your leisure. I like to recommend it because sometimes people get stuck on something, say, I don't know, eligibility. They can click on this and review that very simply. You can also call your agent services and they'll be able to walk you through a lot of this information. Webinars, they're right there for all of our products. All you got to do is RSVP for them and attend, and you'll learn a lot about the different products. We also have a class on the actual portal because there's a lot of stuff in here. If you like to geek out, there's a lot of production and different things like that. It's available to you to kind of look at your overall production. Paper applications versus e-applications. I always try to bring this up, and I'm not going to read this, but the bottom line there is if you've taken a paper application, do yourself a favor, go back home, take that paper application and input it into the e-application process. It's very simple. We have a great new tool, signature process called the security question. Basically, you can ask your client from a drop-down box, what high school did you go to? You put that in there. And what that does on the AQE tool is it signs all of the forms. So there's no guesswork about if all your forms are signed or not. It's all done for you and very easily submitted. Incidentally, once you submit an application, you can go back to that agent portal and you will know within 2 minutes the status of that application. Bundling final expense, I won't really necessarily go through this, but there's a lot there. You guys will have access to this particular presentation. So if you have any questions, and for that matter, if you have questions after the presentation, Andrew's going to take those questions down and be able to to send them to me so that I can get you answers. Another nifty feature of the Aetna Quote and Enroll tool is the money purchase. So you know how much money somebody has to spend, you can back end it and give them an idea of what it's going to cost. Pretty nifty feature. Product availability, you can go into our agent portal, aetnaseniorproducts.com, and you will be able to find by state which products are available, and it'll give you a quick reference guide. On the back of this, you will also see like the bullet points for all the different plans. So you can take a look at our med subs, our protection series final expense, as well as all the other products, our dental, vision, and hearing, protection series, recovery care, and they're all available to you. And they'll give you little nifty bullet points with an elevator speech. At this point, I think all of us are all have an encryption on our phones, on our laptops, on our iPads. Very, very important. I just like to bring this up because if you do lose something, you can always call the IT hotline and they'll make sure that that information is protected so that you don't have a problem with HIPAA. And that's pretty much it, folks. I appreciate your time today. Thank you, Mr. Levinson. I appreciate the opportunity, sir.
Yep. No. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. And we're going to send out brochures in the thank you email that explains the whole application process, signature process, product details, all the contracting, of course, and all the above. So keep your eyes peeled for that. I also want to show you a couple other items real quick before we have our incentive and give you some other ideas and ways to spread the word, right, and add value when these consumers are talking to you versus the other 900,000 agents across the country. So some cool stuff here. Again, jot down these notes, please, because I don't want you to forget after your Labor Day 3-day weekend, right? Because you need to keep your foot on the gas, as we all know, especially in September, Life Insurance Awareness Month. Okay, so real fast, Final Expense Experience is a site we put together that has all the built-in sales scripts, lead programs, product training, webinars. We brought in a few third-party consultants, right, that talk only about selling in the senior market space. So really neat stuff that you can leverage, right, to change the balance of your year and really get ahead and make 21 the best year ever when it comes to insurance selling and commissions. Okay, let's move forward. What I want to show everyone real quick is a chart of all of the available contracts, carriers when it comes to senior selling, what's available to you where you have direct access, right, through Levinson and the carrier. So on the left side, real quick, all of the top guaranteed issue options. And again, when you're working in the senior space, right, you're going to come across that, 67, 77-year-old that just cannot get approved with a traditional final expense product. So we have Gerber, which comes with free scholarship, and it's on our direct-to-consumer platform, Insure Me Now Direct, AIG, of course, Great Western, UHL, GTL, and Enrollment First, which is the only guaranteed issue to $100,000 to age 70, and there's only one question on the app, and if you can work a full-time work week, you're in. Done. Let's move over to the right side. So these are all of our core carriers. Top left, of course, is Aetna, the CVS Health Plan, and we have just under that, Lumico, Mutual of Omaha, UHL, and what I want you to notice here and what I want to point out, every green asterisk, that means direct-to-consumer approved. That means you can just email a client the link, they can run a quote, apply at 3 a.m. when you're sleeping, and you still get paid full commission and renewals, okay, if that product has a renewal. It's a full pass-through. And then the red asterisk means that if you're, let's say, selling to a grandparent, grandma, grandpa, whatever it is, they can give their grandson, granddaughter a 1-year scholarship, $40,000 of value for free, just because they're working with you, Lisa Smith, in the middle of Wisconsin, okay? No charge to you, the agent, or the client. So it's a huge differentiator. And we're going to show you an exact example of why, so you could see the value here and start spreading the word. Okay, real fast, what I want to do now is shift gears for a second. Andrew's going to take the wheel, and I want you to see and just kind of get your arms around the e-signature process, the e-app process, because most of you are selling from home, and you have to know enough to be dangerous. You're on the phone with a 47-year-old. You need to know where to go for what, right? You don't have time to call back because you can miss the opportunity. So Andrew's going to give you the 100-foot overview. Andrew?
Yep. Thanks so much, Bill. Appreciate it. I want to go over, a very important topic that Bill just mentioned, and it's how to collect the application. You got to be able to do it in an easy way, right? We're dealing in the senior market. You're dealing with people who are 70, 80, 89 years old. In the case of Aetna products, a lot of them may or may not have email or don't know how to use a computer very well. So you have to have alternative signature options. And part of why we had Aetna on the call today is they have a voice signature or agent-driven signature process. And we'll make sure everybody has information on that. It's posted to our website, and we will send it out in the recap email. But it's great because you can actually put in the client's social, and it'll ask questions about only things that client would know. Like, for example, what was the make and model of the car that you took a loan out in 2012? And only that client's going to know that answer. And that could suffice as the signature. So Aetna's got a really unique product, with that. Also, you'll see some bullets here on the right-hand side. We have a lot of carriers that offer voice signature and easy signature solutions. For example, we have Americo, Liberty Bankers, we have Prosperity, Royal Neighbors, GTL. All of these have voice signatures. So you dial up the carrier underwriter, you get the client on the phone, and everything's done with a voice signature. There's no paperwork, there's no email. It's a very simple process. So I wanted to highlight on the right-hand side just some, key niche areas for you to consider. A lot of this, like I said, is on our website, but I wanted to point this out. And we're here in the marketing team to help you understand what products may be best for certain situations or application scenarios. We have a final expense app submission guide that we're going to send to you. That's screenshotted here on the screen. And it's going to show you all of the processes that these carriers take, right? Not just talking about that they offer it, but how to actually complete the process from start to finish. Okay, it's really important, and you can get it on the final expense experience section of the Levinson website. Also, real quick, I want to talk about our Levinson final expense quoting software. I cannot understate this enough. You need to be using something like this. If you're not, you're going in reverse. And there's so many carriers, as you just saw. We have over 25 different final expense and guaranteed issue options. You have to know within 30 seconds, what the best solution is going to be, or you're going to lose that client. They're going to lose interest. They're going to move on, right? This is a price-based business. So our quoting tool gives you every carrier in real time. You can compare them, sort it from low to high. You can generate a PDF document. You can email it to them or go over it on the phone. And it has a health analyzer tool. This is amazing. So what you can do is talk to your client. They're 72. They're 5'4", 190, and they're type 2 diabetic, and they had a stent 4 years ago. Great. Well, you can put that information in the health analyzer, and it will tell you which carriers have the best look back periods for those conditions. All right, so it'll pop up right on the screen for you. So it's all real-time quoting and health underwriting. So this is all free to you. So you can leverage this on our back office. It is also mobile compatible. So you can access this using our mobile app or through the Levinson site on a tablet. This is something you need to be using if you're not already. And here's the way to get it. You go to our quotes tab and hit the final expense quote engine, and it's there ready to go. I'm going to get it over to Bill for Insure Me Now direct updates and other hot things going here at Levinson. Bill?
Okay, good stuff, Andrew. By the way, we're just about done. So a couple other pointers here. And by the way, when it comes to final expense, as you can see, there's no one else that has all of these tools and platforms and strategies, right? We're not just an IMO saying, here's a contract, and if you need anything, here's the 800 number to the carrier, and good luck. No, we take just the opposite approach. We say, call us. We tell these carriers, we don't even want you to put your phone number, okay? We want to help our agents. We want to show them what other programs are available to help them make more sales. So totally opposite than any other IMO out there, and I'm not trying to be conceited or toot our own horn, but I've never seen a platform like this. So anyway, Insure Me Now Direct, Amazon for life insurance, you all have access for free, but here's what's neat. So you have your own website with your picture, your phone number, all the products are on there, and your client gets to pick and run quotes and apply online, but we have the first and only direct-to-consumer final expense product, and the scholarship program is built in. And if they want to look at dental, vision, accident, everything is here at their fingertips, so your clients can go on any time of the day, and you still get full commission and your agent of record, okay? And even guaranteed issue products. We have guaranteed issue CI, DI, whole life, all on the platform. Or if your client isn't comfortable, maybe sharing information without you being on the phone or whatever the case is, you can do this with the client on the phone or do it next to them, in front of them. It's very, very simple. The whole process, 7 minutes, A to Z. And they print and save the policy, done. Okay, let's move forward here. So real quick, you've heard me talk about scholarship for a while, and you say, oh, well, Florida State's not on there, so I don't really care. Okay, well, that's the wrong answer, and here's why. Okay, so let's pretend Andrew's an agent out there. He's in the trenches trying to push final expense, right, all over the country. And I'm an agent out there, and I'm doing the same exact thing. We're working the same bucket of leads, right, whatever the case is. The difference is, Andrew, yes, he's got access to the same companies that I do, but I have access to the scholarship program. Andrew doesn't. So we're both trying to pitch this female, 65, non-smoker for a final expense, $25,000 policy, okay? We're both coming in with a similar product, neck and neck with premium, right? Death benefit the same. Both A-rated companies are better. Everything's identical, okay? And by the way, the client, let's call her Lisa, she doesn't know either of us, okay? So we're both coming in with the same approach, similar product, fine. The difference is I'm giving this 1-year scholarship that's equal to 41,000 points or dollars, okay? So think about this. Lisa, the client, is going to buy from me, Bill versus Andrew, every single time. Why? Because of the value add. And Lisa has 2 grandkids that are going to college, and she knows they're going to college, and she's not paying any more for this scholarship program. Even if Florida State's not on the program, there's 430 other colleges that are in the program, and she's not paying for it anyway. It's just a value add by working with Bill Levinson, the local life insurance agent, okay? You're going to get the sale every time, and here's why. You're going to explain it just like this. By the way, now Andrew's out of the picture, okay? They don't even remember his name. Why? Because I'm throwing in this extra value add by working with me. And take a look at the illustration in front of you real fast. So Lisa, 25,000, female 65, non-smoker, total premium $106, okay? Like I said, guaranteed whole life, $25,000 policy. Let's look at the chart in front of you. Policy year 1, cash value obviously 0, scholarship points 5,000. Every point's $1. That's $5,000 of tuition. Okay, now let's scroll down to the 19th year. Okay, if she buys from Andrew or if she buys from me, this is going to look neck and neck for the first 2 columns. $12,184 of cash value, paid a benefit of $16,150. Now on my illustration, okay, Bill Levinson, Lisa's going to see that $41,000 number in red that she's not going to see with Andrew. Okay. And it doesn't cost her a penny more of premium. Let's look over to the right-hand side here, okay? Now, think about this for a second. She knows her grandkids are going to college, 100%, okay? Now, she put in $106 a month, premiums paid of $24,339, total points and scholarship, 41,000, total cash value in year 19, $12,184, a total value of $53,184 to be used for little Johnny's 4-year tuition, okay? All while the entire time there was a $25,000 guaranteed death benefit in case she passed that the kids can use towards a 4-year tuition. So look at the total outlay, okay, just over 24,000. Look at the total value, okay, more than double to be used for a 4-year tuition, okay? Now, it's not going to pay for an entire 4-year tuition, but wouldn't this help out? Wouldn't this be nice? Versus her buying this final expense from Andrew, the other guy, you're going to get the sale every single time, okay? Why? Because it's a value add that didn't cost the client a penny. It didn't cost you, the agent, any commission or a fee or anything, just by you being a Levinson agent. So again, no-brainer. Let's move forward here. Final expense leads. This is part of the final expense experience you can get to through our website. All of the lead programs and mailers, everything is below in those blue tiles. And I suggest over this 3-day weekend, you take a look around and see what you want to try out. Some of this stuff is free, by the way. Okay, so check it out when you can. Final expense turnkey marketing platform called Legacy Safeguard. This is also available as a complimentary strategy for Levinson agents only. And it's like a turnkey, think of like an owner's manual, right? But for final expense life insurance for your clients. Okay, you give this to them free. And it's got a form that you can sit down or do this over the phone and fill out all the details. And then it even has an 800 phone number your clients can call if their spouse passes and they don't know what to do, or they need to contact a funeral home, or any questions from A to Z. Okay, it's a turnkey final expense kit that you can give for free just because you are a Levinson agent. Okay, let's move forward. This is part of Legacy Safeguard's mailer, which is a co-op discounted rate, $495 for 1,000 mailers, everything included with your return address. The average return for these leads is about 2%. So again, a lot of bang for the buck here, and you can position this perfectly with the free kit. Okay, Legacy Safeguard. Okay, now you always say to yourself, and I know you do because I hear it all the time, I want to talk to some of your more successful agents and pick their brain for an hour. Well, we all know that's not reality because these agents are busy, especially the more productive ones. So what I do every month is I sit down with one of them and pick their brain for 1 hour to see what's working, what's not. So we have 2 top agents, one from Chicago, one from California, that are coming on. One, the bottom right corner, Ian, will be on next week. And then, of course, Mike will be on in the following month. So you're going to hear from 2 superstars. And then when you have time over this weekend, go back and listen to some prior episodes. I promise you, you're going to learn a bunch with Emmanuel. We even did a part 1 and part 2, and he's a superstar. I mean, they're selling out of Hawaii, Tennessee, and every state in between. Again, great knowledge here and a ton of nuggets that will change your business, okay, for the better. Okay, future trainings, it's what you're on right now. So every day of the week, we have our agency automator training with Kevin, our programmer. Then on the bottom, we have a big one. So agency automator, CRM, and website updates, okay? All of this is free for you, okay? You pay the $9.90 hosting fee a month. Everything's free. On the bottom, Levinson Annuity Experience Updates. We're bringing in the top consultant in the annuity space on the 16th. You don't want to miss that one if you want to sell annuities and be successful, even if you've never sold an annuity before or you're a veteran. Okay, last slide. I know we're 1 minute late, which, by the way, I'm proud of that because usually we're a few minutes late. Question of the day. But first, I'm going to talk about my quote of the week. This is Positive Tuesday. I love this one. If this pandemic has taught us anything, it's that adversity and hardship will come for all of us. Being able to overcome these obstacles and forging a new path defined by determination and focus is the key to success during these challenging times. It's all about living and learning, right? As we go, no one saw this coming, right? But we have to see the situation we're in, make the best of it, right? And know the good news is life insurance awareness is skyrocketing and we're at the forefront. Okay, so you can take advantage and leverage a challenging time, right? And help these families and help your family by making more money, okay? And being comfortable. That's the bottom line. And we're here to help you. Question of the day. Okay, I spoke about by the way, make sure your fingers are on your keyboard because I'm about to let it go right now. Okay, so you got to be ready to answer. Whoever's first wins. My question of the day. I spoke earlier about our annuity incentive. Tell me how much money you can win for September on the Kickoff annuity incentive contest. I don't know if you remember, but I said you can write 2 apps and win how much cash for September. You tell me how much it is, you win. Andrew, do we have a winner?
We do. It's Jim K. Jim K is the first correct answer out of, looks like, Massachusetts.
Jim K from Mass, $1,000 cash with 2 apps for September. With that said, thank you so much. I hope you learned a little bit. I hope you walked away with a nugget or 2 that will change your business, okay, especially when selling final expense over the phone, which most of you are doing right now. So have a wonderful rest of the week, a great holiday weekend. And I truly, and I mean this, I really appreciate you all taking the time, especially before a 3-day weekend. Thanks again. I wish you a happy and healthy. Take care. We'll see you next week.